Alright, what's up guys? This is Kevin. I'm going to give you a tutorial on how I personally color correct my videos in After Effects CS5.5. So right here we'll start off with my raw footage, which I took with my macro lens. Just some cards and a syringe on a table. And I really put a blue feel on it because I wanted a blue, but it didn't end up turning that way. So hopefully we'll reproduce this and come with a final product that looks like this. Real high contrasty dark kind of feeling. And then we'll do another one after that and it'll look like this. So the original, just blue, and then turn it red. Real mahogany look to it. Alright, so we can start by opening a new project. New project. No, don't save. Alright, you drag our footage in and then start a new comp. So as we can see, it starts off on the card and then it focuses in on the needle there. So I'm just going to work on this frame right here. First thing I usually do when I'm color correcting is not hit that because that's a mistake. First thing I'll do is go to Effects, Color Correction, and I generally like to start off with curves because it can give you a basis for all your shadows and whatever you want. So start off with the RGB. I want the high contrasty look with the darkness, so I'm going to pull this side down first of all, and I'm going to pull this side up to bring the highlights up in that card. And really my philosophy is when you're color correcting, you just test everything out until you get a look that you like. Who cares how technically proficient you are in it? I just go around testing stuff. So alright, so we got the RGB red. I don't really like this blue anymore. It's a little too blue, so I'm gonna pull the reds up in the bottom just a little bit. And then this can stay about there. Greens, I'll pull these down to make it more of a dark reddish look. I could go green, but we'll save that for another time. So this blue is turning more dark purpley, reddish, which I like better. And then maybe put this up towards the green. Then the blue, I always like the blue one. I rarely actually use the green unless I have to. I'm gonna pull this down. Yeah, look at that. It just gives it a nice feel to it. It's too. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So I got my yellows. I got my curves, and right there you can see it makes a huge difference. Without and then with. Just already, it's really monumental. And next thing I usually like to do, I'll go to selective coloring. If there's people, I usually go to the, what's it called, hue and saturation to mess with the skin color or saturation of certain colors. But I'm gonna do that later with the vibrance and other things and the tint. So selective color right now. So with selective color, I literally just screw around with crap until I feel like I like it. Just go back and forth until I get a look that I like. Right here, I'm actually put a needle. That's not an actual syringe. That's just a needle that I put in there. So right here, there's like a ball. So I want to make the liquid inside of it darker, as dark as possible. So I'll take the yellows, make it dark, turn the blacks up. Okay, back to the card. Greens, not much of an effect there. Cyans, this is the important part because when I made the original footage, it's blue and it's all cyan. So I want to mess with the cyans until I get satisfied. Yeah, get rid of that blue. Turn that. So just scroll back and forth until you feel happy with what you got. If you were wondering, I took this with my Tamron 75-300 macro telephoto lens. It's a really cheap one. It's about $150, but it gets pretty good images from it. So, alright, whites are important sometimes, but not all the time. You can't see much white here except for on the card. Neutrals, this is a big one too, because this messes with everything. I want to make it dark here. This is where I want to make it grungy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so without selective coloring, it's still kind of blue, and that just refines the colors. I love that. And after that, usually, what would I do next? Oh, color balance. This is one I've just been using lately, and it's the same exact rules here. You just mess with the switches till you find what you like. Yes, there we go. Alright, so get the yellow in there. Alright, so the color balance did a little bit. I like what it did there, so I'm going to keep it. Oftentimes I'll find myself like going back and forth from color to color, which is, it seems to me kind of newbie, but whatever. As long as I'm happy with the product in the end. Alright, here I'm going to go to the vibrance. I'm going to turn the saturation down a little bit because it's a little too colory. It's kind of, I need it more dark, have more of a feel to it. So there, right there, it takes away that extra color. And then lastly, you don't always have to use this. I rarely use this actually, but tint sometimes can make a big difference. Right here, I'm going to go for a gray tint actually. Well, the footage is kind of yellowy blue, so I'll just go to blue and then go towards the gray blue area. And then just a little bit of tint. I never go overboard on that. And then so right now you can already tell with these 5 steps, took, I don't know, 6 minutes, turned that crap to pretty decent footage. And final touches, a lot of people use vignettes, and I like to do it sometimes, but they overdo it. I always turn the opacity to at least under 60, always under 60, feather it out. Yeah, there we go. So you can see without it, it's a little bit different. But vignettes I think are good for, they're not good for everything. They're not good for regular footage, or just if you're trying to create a scene. And there's my first color correction tutorial. Please check out my channel, Kevin Cargis and Trent Video Studios. Thanks, and stay tuned for our next tutorial on anything really.